Welcome back to another episode of East Coast Blue Jays. I'm your host, Patrick McGraw. Thank you all for coming in. So, Ross Atkins, it sounds to me that he's all done signing free agents. Possibly the only way, the next step for the Blue Jays to get better is through a trade. But before we get things going, if you're the 30% that has subscribed to our page, thank you so much. It is greatly appreciated. If you're the 69% that hasn't, and if you'd like to follow the Blue Jays and our content, give us a little like and a subscribe and leave a little comment below. So let's get things going here. So Ross Atkins, he was interviewed the other day by Shai Davidi and wondering what was going on with anything at all, what his future plans are for the next less than 2 weeks before the spring training starts. So Blue Jays GM Ross Atkins on whether his club is continuing to look for ways to add off the offseason. Ross Atkins said, "We'll never stop on that front. If there's a way to do it, if there's a way to upgrade any aspects of our roster, whether it's run prevention, run scoring to our bullpen, it's be hard to add the rotation at this point unless it's just depth. On the position player group, if there's a way to increase our depth, we'll look to that as well. I think at this point, it would require a trade for us to add on to the team. It doesn't have to, but it most likely would be in the case." So it seems to me that they're not after any more free agents, but if there's going to be any more new players onto the team, is going to be during via trade. All right, then. I don't know what's going on with Alex Bregman. I don't even know if he's still in the works of signing him. I don't know. It just sounds to me that it's not. All right. So tweet by Arden. He said Blue Jays GM Ross Atkins says Rodriguez will be stretched out in spring training and compete for the fifth spot in the club's rotation. Really? I thought when they got Max Scherzer that Rodriguez is going to be in the bullpen. But he's going to fight for a fifth rotation. And, he'd be a good guy to throw in there whenever some of the guys get tired or somebody's out hurt. He'd be a great guy to get in there. So it's just depth. He's talking about depth. That's the depth he's talking about right there. He also says expect Jack Bloss, Eric, and Adam Clovenstein to form next layer of starting depth in AAA rotation. So that's a good thing. They're working on their starting pitchers and hopefully build them to get better and perhaps this year or next year get them into the majors. All right, so Atkins stated that he is always looking to add players that can help the team win, but stated that at this point, he believes they would likely be closing a trade to add players as there's not much left in the free agent market. Yeah, there's not a whole lot except for Alex Bregman, but he's asking way too much and everybody's after him. I think there's like 6 teams after him right now. So despite the Blue Jays being linked to free agent Alex Bregman and reports stating that they have put an offer in, after what Atkins says, it looks like he is already planning on missing out on signing him as well. If the Blue Jays can go and land at least one more solid hitter through a trade before the start of the season, they will certainly have one of the best teams in the American League East next year, definitely. There is still a few solid trade options available, but the spring training right around the corner, the Blues will have to act quickly if they still want to add more players. Well, they can add more players or sign another free agent, but the elephant in the room is Mr. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. So in terms of big free agent signings, the Blue Jays general manager Ross Atkins acknowledged on Friday that his off-season work is pretty much done. Really? But with pitchers and catchers reporting in less than a week and full spring training activities commence on February 18th in Florida, what about the massive piece on finished business for the team? Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Well, I don't know. So, Atkins wasn't about to get into specifics of details of the team's apparently ongoing negotiations for a contract extension with superstar Vlad Guerrero Jr. The general manager's appearance on a video conference call with Shidavidi was to talk about the signing of Max Scherzer. Of course, he's going to throw Vladdy in there to see what else is going on. So after all, but the Guerrero self-imposed deadline for talks to set for the start of the camp, and the urgency remains the most significant aspect of the narrative around the team. So here is Mr. Ross Atkins. He had an interview with Shai Davidi. So, Atkins wasn't about to get into specifics or details of the team's apparently ongoing negotiations for a contract extension with the superstar Vladimir Guerrero Jr. But yeah, he didn't want to talk about anything of that stuff. So, Ross Atkins says, today is about Max. And today is about the team that's in place, and Vlad is certainly a huge part of that. Atkins said when asked specifically about the looming deadline, you all know our desire to have him here for a long time and will continue to work towards that. So, how would you take that? It means the negotiating between Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Ross Atkins in the front office doesn't seem to be going very well. As far as the free agency market, seems to me he's done. Seems to me he's completely done. He's ready for spring training. And if anybody wants to reach out for a trade or anything, he's going to keep an ear open. But seems to me with that interview, he's done with the free agent market. If somebody wants to trade, they can give him a call. And doesn't seem to be anything going on with Vladdy right now. So don't expect Vladdy to get signed on a full year or extension before the spring training. It just doesn't sound like it. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully Ross Atkins in the front office and hopefully Vladdy gets what he wants. But we need this guy long term, or it's going to be a long season of what's going to happen. What's going to happen? Is he going to sign? How much is he going to get? But anyway, what do you guys think? Tell me what you think. Leave a comment below, and if you haven't done already, give us a little like and subscribe. It's just a freaking shit show. And anyway, thank you all for coming in. Mr. Ross Atkins is Mr. Atkins. He's not a very liked guy, but he's in a position to play mind games. He's not saying much of anything. But anyway, thank you all for coming in. Have yourself a great night, and like I always say, let's go Jays.